This is Our Planet, the One Place We All Call Home by Matt Whyman and Richard Jones. And this is part 4, Our Deserts and Grasslands. These natural spaces are vast and might often seem empty, but both habitats are vital for wildlife and play an important role in the health of our planet. In this picture here, we can see bison grazing the grasslands of Badlands National Park in South Dakota. All about our deserts and grasslands. In different ways, both deserts and grasslands are essential to the health of our planet. Currently, a fifth of the land on our planet is desert. In this harsh and challenging landscape where rainfall is extremely low, animals have adapted to survive, from beetles and snakes to camels and lizards, as well as plants that need very little water for long periods at a time. Grasslands cover more than a quarter of the Earth's land. It rains in these regions, but not enough for forests to grow. Grasslands can also be known as meadows, steppes, prairies, or savanna. Around the world, grasslands support spectacular numbers of grazing animals, such as caribou, antelope, and zebra. Many of these follow the rains that help grass to grow and can travel over long distances. These grazing animals stimulate new growth with their trampling feet. They support insect life and wild flowers, keep trees and shrubs from taking over, and provide food for predators. Grasslands in ecological balance provide enough space for predator and prey to thrive. When that balance comes under threat, through drought or where we have taken over the land to grow food, the ecosystem suffers. In some cases, grasslands become barren and turn into desert. We simply cannot afford to lose more grassland in this way. Special quality. Space is central to grasslands and the life they support. This is where big animals roam, graze, and hunt, often in huge numbers, and so their sheer size is important in keeping them healthy. A large space allows herds to move on to fresh grazing and allows grass to regrow. Wild meadows. Grassland is not all about the big hunters. Grassy meadows support an extraordinary variety of insects, with different ants, beetles, butterflies, and more living in close relationships with each other and with the grasses and flowers. Stories from our deserts and grasslands. A helping trunk. Fewer than 100 desert elephants remain in Namibia. In this hot, dry, and dusty landscape, we find an elderly female leading her herd in search for food. She knows that the green, leafy anna trees in the distance are a sign of water and a source of food for the elephants. Her mother first showed her this spot a long time ago. Now she's teaching her family how to get there. But today she encounters a problem. At this time of year, seed pods usually litter the ground under the trees, providing rich food for the elephants. This year, however, the crop has failed. The old elephant has led her herd here for nothing. The tree canopies are too high for them to even reach and pick off the leaves with their trunks. The family has no option but to move on. Fortunately, help arrives in time. A bull elephant, standing almost 4 meters tall, can reach higher and is able to haul down the branches so the group can eat. The old female has known him all her life, and elephants only survive here because of knowledge passed down through generations. With so few desert elephants remaining and food sources becoming scarce, such knowledge could soon be lost, and elephants may no longer be able to live here. In this picture we can see a family of desert elephants, and here they are reaching for anna leaves. Life on the plains. A herd of over 1 million wildebeest roams the Serengeti in East Africa. They follow the rain as it falls across the plains in order to graze on the newly sprung grass. These vast herds also attract predators, which is a natural part of life here. Cheetahs help keep the wildebeest population from growing too big for the grasslands to sustain. Right now, a group of 5 cheetahs are stalking their prey. 4 prowl towards the herd, while the 5th uses the long grass to creep around the side unnoticed. A single cheetah is not strong enough to bring down a wildebeest alone, so it's vital that they work together to be successful. Such dramas are only still possible on the Serengeti because it has been protected for over 65 years. Get smart. If we grow and eat more plant-based foods and eat less meat and dairy, which take up a lot of land to produce, we can feed the planet using fewer resources. We can embrace technology, implementing farming methods that use minimal space, water, and pesticides. Back from the brink. Although species may be suffering where grasslands are under threat, there is still hope. In Mongolia, the once endangered Przewalski's horses are thriving. 50 years ago, they were extinct in the wild, but a few adults survived in captivity. Careful breeding from just 12 of these captive animals increased their numbers until there are enough to release on plains, largely untouched by humans. Now, numbers top 300 and their future looks more secure. Heads up! Beetles in the roasting Namib have also adapted to survive. When fog rolls off the Atlantic across the desert, they scurry to the top of dunes and stand upside down so that the moisture runs down their bodies and into their mouths. Hotheads. The gemsbok antelopes that roam Africa's Namib Desert can survive temperatures of up to 45 degrees Celsius. They are able to conserve water for long periods, while tiny blood vessels in the nose help to cool the blood going into the brain. Former glories. The great American plains were once home to millions of bison. This was the true Wild West until the bison were hunted close to extinction. Today, less than 30,000 remain, with 90% of the prairies now used for agriculture. Over the last century, wild grasslands have lost out to farmland. It means many of those grazing animals and predators that rely on wild open spaces are being squeezed and even fenced in, but all that may be about to change. These giants are recovering in ranches, tribal lands, and national parks, and bison are beginning to roam once more. Protecting our deserts and grasslands. Grasslands are all about space. If herds can't roam, then land becomes overgrazed, which affects all wildlife. Overgrazing can lead to some grasslands becoming deserts. While deserts are precious for some wildlife, we can't afford to lose more grasslands. Let's get smart about farming in grasslands. We can use new technology to farm in harmony with nature and grow crops in clever ways with less impact on the land. Plants need less space to grow than livestock raised for meat. Eating more plant-based food means we use less grassland for farming. And that is the end of Part 4, Our Deserts and Grasslands.